May I request all the audience to switch off the video, please? And only the participants, I request Mr. D.N. Rao, Mrs. Papdi Ghosh to be on the screen, please. Welcome, Vinoba, sir. Senior Principal and Education Advisor, Board of Directors for Indian Schools in Oman, Mr. MP Vinoba is with us, and I extend a hearty welcome to sir.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Wishing you all the very best.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Rao sir, all the very best to you for the session today.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
I will move out after a little while, but
Okay.
Now to just congratulate you on this new mission, and I'm sure the Muscat chapter will do a great job. Wishing you all the very best.
With all your blessings.
Yes, always, always with you. Sanjita ma'am, all the best.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
It's another great achievement. A golden feather on your cap.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Because they will say this happened during the tenure of Madam Verma. Initiated. Correct, no, Rao sir?
Yes, sir. Exactly. You are 100% right.
Sir, I would say initiated by the chapter. Being a convener, I am handling the responsibility.
No. I mean, during the time of Mrs. Sanjita Verma, that is what the people will say.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
It should continue. I feel this we can continue because
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Helpful. Today happened to be there is another very important webinar at 5 o'clock, which I've already shared with you. So definitely I'll be there with you for a little while, but a little later I will be.
Thank you, sir.
As well. Rao, sir.
Thank you, sir.
But, we will share with you recordings.
Yeah. Sure.
So,
I will see the recordings after that. Yes.
Can we have Papdi ma'am, please? So 1 minute to go.
Yeah, Papdi ma'am, I think let her check that mic.
I've unmuted myself.
Okay. Yes.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Good evening, Vinoba sir.
So, ma'am, we'll start now, okay?
Yeah.
Right. So, here I go.
I think the sound will be coming.
Good afternoon. Salam alaikum. Swagat, Vandan, Abhinandan in the first webinar being hosted by Oman Chapter of Principals for Indian Schools in Oman. I am Sanchita Verma, Principal Indian School Sohar and also Oman Chapter Convener virtually this year. OCW is a series of 4 to 5 webinars on Saturdays. The good question is, why this series when already we are flooded with webinars? The answer is that the resource persons in other webinars are different, whereas resource persons in these webinars are our own principals and teachers. With more than 2,000 teachers in Indian schools, we have amazingly talented staff members, and this is an attempt to bring forth and recognize talent in Indian schools in Oman. I express sincere gratitude to the Board of Directors of Indian Schools in Oman for the guidance and support, all my fellow principals and all the teachers of Indian schools for overwhelming response. How technology has become a life changer, a game changer. Our passport to the future. This will be elaborated by Mr. D.N. Rao, Principal, Indian School, Wadi Kabir. The session will be moderated by vivacious and dynamic Mrs. Papdi Ghosh, Principal, Indian School, Al Ghubra. And for all of you, my dear friends who are teaching, I dedicate this to you. I will teach you in a room. I will teach you now on Zoom. I will teach you in your house. And I will teach you with a mouse. I will teach you here and there. I will teach you because I care. So over to Mrs. Papdi Ghosh.
Thank you, Mrs. Sanchita. Thank you very much. I must say it's a total privilege for me to be moderating the very first webinar, which is being conducted by the Oman chapter. And I have to thank my colleagues for giving me this honor. Thank you very much. Now, the resource person today is somebody who's very, very well known in the education community, not only here in Oman, but in the Gulf and probably also in India and also in the Far East. Mr. D.N. Rao, who is currently the principal of Indian School Wadi Kabir, as well as Indian School Wadi Kabir International. And he needs no introduction to all of you in the school community, Indian school community in Oman, but I'm still going to give a short introduction. You might discover facets that you didn't know. So I think it is important for you to listen carefully. So Mr. Rao started his teaching career in 1982 as a postgraduate teacher in physics. He's held several positions and worked in several schools. And then he was the principal of the Delhi Public School in Secunderabad. And he was also the principal of Global Indian International School. And he was the founder principal and project director of Global Indian International School at Hyderabad. Currently, you know the position that he holds. He's a very dynamic man. And I think in his quest for excellence and to learn the best practices, he's traveled all over the world to the schools. He's been to USA, UK, Singapore, Thailand, Malaysia, Finland, UAE, France, Germany, Belgium, Netherlands, Italy, Austria. So you can see, you know, how he loves education and wants to learn more. Now, he has traveled, but you know something, this is something that I'm going to share with all those in the school community in Oman. Amongst our principal colleagues, he is known as our daredevil colleague. Now you will ask me why, and I will tell you why. He is known as our daredevil colleague because he does all the adventure sports. He's done bungee jumping, he's done zip lining, he's done skydiving, he's done parasailing, he's done jet skiing, he's done flyboarding, you name it, he's done it. I know what you're thinking. You must be thinking, oh, he must have done it years ago when he was young. Sorry, you're wrong. He was skydiving last year in the USA. We have photographs to prove it. All right. Now, Mr. Rao has some very interesting hobbies. He likes cooking. Thank you very much. At least that's something that I share with him. I mean, I don't do the adventure sports, but at least I like cooking. And he also has green fingers. If you notice the money plant behind him, you'll know that he has green fingers. And in his spare time, what he does is he browses through the internet to find out about the latest technologies. And therefore, we have him here today as an educator who wants to share his knowledge, because Mr. Rao believes that while sharing knowledge, the knowledge multiplies manyfold. And so, like a true educator, he is here today to share his knowledge with us on integrating technology in virtual classrooms. Our very first resource person, over to you, Mr. D.N. Rao. It's yours now.
Thank you very much, ma'am. Good evening to one and all. Thank you, Mrs. Papdi Ghosh, and brief introduction about me, which gives me immense pleasure that the senior-most principal of Indian schools and presenting the key details about my profile to all vibrant and dynamic teaching fraternity of Indian schools in Oman. My heartfelt gratitude to Mrs. Sanchita Verma, convener of Principals Forum of Oman chapter, all other principals of Indian schools, and you all on providing me this wonderful opportunity of presenting and sharing resources through this webinar. During this session, we'll take you through various developments in the recent past and introduce numerous ways of supporting our teachers in designing and conducting our virtual classes more interesting and impressive to the learners. Permit me to share the screen. Yeah, today's topic, integrating technology in virtual classrooms, initiated by the Oman chapter of Principals of Indian Schools in Oman. And today, every educator, every teacher transformed himself or herself as a digital teachers by learning various technological advancement or technological applications. The illiterate of the 21st century, not be those who cannot read and write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. Today's topic we are going to start with a very famous KWL chart. It's one of the technique how our and particularly in IB schools they use this technique very nice. What do you know about this topic? Expecting most of you knowing what all I'm going to show you, maybe certain things you may catch up. That's my expectation. And what do you want to know about this topic? Through Google form, I have come to know through some areas. And maybe the last one, we will be getting that after the session, through Google form, the feedback on the session. Be it a virtual classroom or a real classroom or this webinar, it is built up on 5 pillars like engage, the relevancy, and also explore, explain, elaborate, and this is the guideline for helping classroom teachers in transition to online learning. It starts with a survey of all students. We need to do need analysis, what they require, what is our syllabus, what is our curriculum. And after making the need analysis, we can also look at connectivity, devices available, synchronous, asynchronous, and consider extending deadlines. For example, we have syllabus completion, assessments, etc. Feedback and scaffolds, various feedback from the students and even parents, even colleagues, and even from management, and encourage real world learning. And then finally, we need to look after or take care of mental health of everyone, every stakeholder. And then take care of yourself in this serious pandemic situation. Great teachers never stop learning, and we fully support that. And today's session, we are going to learn, we are going to have a brief introduction about this topic, and then we move on to Google Classroom features, virtual platforms, designing our own Google site, how to create instructional videos, important web resources, and then monitoring and tracking the progress online learning, and how to make our own LMS using various resources, particularly Moodle. the digital learning world, how educational technology is already the new normal. Over a span of few weeks, the education sector has witnessed huge changes in the way teaching learning is being transacted across the world, indicating that the future of education has arrived sooner than expected. COVID-19 has prompted experts to rethink the conventional mode of education. Needless to say, the pandemic has transformed the centuries-old talk teaching model to one driven by technology. When technology integration in the classroom is seamless and thoughtful, students not only become more engaged, they begin to take more control over their own learning too. Effective technology integration changes classroom dynamics, encouraging student-centered active learning. In the given circumstances, Principals Forum of Oman chapter and Board of Directors of Indian Schools in Oman have initiated a series of webinars to upskill and enhance digital capabilities of our school staff. With increasing digitization and the rapid pace at which the technology is evolving, it is not surprising that the education sector is undergoing a dramatic transformation, with virtual classrooms and online courses becoming the norm rather than the exception. How to integrate technology? Successful technology integration is more than just getting the tools into the classroom. Here are some ideas on how to engage students and enliven your lessons with those tools. Think about how you are using technology with your students. Are they employing technology daily in the classroom, using the variety of tools to complete their assignments and create projects that show a deep understanding of content? If your answer is no, is it because you are not able to have enough access to technology? Or is it because you don't feel that online classes are not effective? Or do you feel ready but need additional support in your classroom? Depending on your answer, your path to tech integration may look different from one to one. However, today we will cover most common aspects of integrating technology in virtual classrooms. Before starting our lessons, using video conferencing tools such as Google Meet, Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams, one should have at least the few following in place for effective implementation. Lesson plan of topic to be covered, soft copy preferable, storyboard, depicting workflow interpretation, synopsis of the topic, assignments such as homeworks, worksheets, projects, online assessments, both subjective and objective, feedback on learning gaps using Google survey forms, remedial measures on learning gaps, create a space for discussion forum with the students on the topic, PPTs on the given lesson, quiz using Google Forms, Quizlet or any other platform, MCQs, question bank for the given topic, list of reference books, materials, impressive videos, images, interactive websites, URLs of useful websites and uplinks. Then this makes the complete planning for a lesson. When any teacher brings technology into the classroom, he or she will no longer be the center of attention. The level of refocused attention will, of course, depend on the amount and the type of technology, e-content, PPT, video, quiz being brought into the classroom. However, this does not mean that the teacher is no longer essential to the learning process. What is successful technology integration? Well-integrated use of technology resources by thoroughly trained teachers makes 21st century learning possible. Technology integration is the use of technology resources, computers, mobile devices like smartphones, tablets, digital cameras, social media platforms and networks, software applications, the internet, e-content, interactive websites, impressive videos, etc. in daily classroom practices and in the management of the school. Successful technology integration is achieved when the use of technology is routine and transparent, accessible and readily available for the task at hand. Let us see how this technology integration is going to be in our future classrooms. The digital Yeah, this is going to be a benchmark for all of us how to integrate the technology in our classrooms. Now, one of the biggest tech giant, Google, Microsoft, etc. Particularly today's session, we are going to cover what the Google is going to offer to education sector, having the Gmail and other features, Google Classroom, etc. This is going to offer a useful applications, various virtual tools which are going to be useful in our virtual classroom. So today we are going to have a demo on various virtual tools. Then we will take you to the other platforms. We are going to give you some details on the Google Meet and Google Classroom and demonstration.
In this video, we're going to look at how to use Google Classroom. If you're used to the old Google Classroom, or if you've never used Google Classroom at all, this video will help you get started with the updated version of Google Classroom. So here I am at google.com, signed into my account, and I'd like to get started using Google Classroom, maybe with my students or maybe with another audience. To do this, I can go here to the Google Apps symbol and just click and look for Classroom. Here it is. For me, it's on the second page of Google Apps. For you, it might not be there. It just depends. So if you don't see it there, you could alternatively just go to classroom.google.com, hit enter or return on the keyboard, and it should take you into Google Classroom. And you can see I have a pop-up here and I have a class that I created previously. Now let's talk for a minute about why you might want to use Google Classroom. Basically, this is a system to help with student learning and also to help the teacher to teach the class. It's basically an LMS, a learning management system. And with this most recent update, Google has made Google Classroom even more of a complete LMS. The first thing you need to do if you're going to start using Google Classroom, once you've gotten signed in and gotten to this point, is you'll want to click this plus sign to create or join a class. And so that you can see this a little bit better, first of all, I'm going to go full screen. And second of all, I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see things a little bit bigger on the screen. So like I say, I need to start here with create or join a class. So I'll go ahead and click that plus sign. And in this case, I want to create a class. So we just click create a class. I get a little bit of a warning here. It says, are you using Classroom at a school with students? If you are, you can't really use Google Classroom with just any account. You have to have a free G Suite for Education account through your school. Now, my guess is that most of you watching this video, that is the situation for you. You have a free G Suite for Education account that was provided to you by your district or your school, but there are people who use Google Classroom in other ways. It doesn't have to be at a school with students. So I'm going to check this box, click continue, and begin creating my class. So let's say I've decided to offer a class to help people learn English. I'll just type in the title of this class, the section. In this case, it's just the one class. I'll just call it section 1. But if you teach in a secondary school, or if you have class periods and things like that, you could use sections as the same kind of thing as a class period. Next, the subject. And then I click create, and it's creating the class for me. It takes me to a little intro here that talks about the 3 main sections of Google Classroom. We have classwork, where we can organize content, we can ask questions of the students, we can assign work. But in addition to classwork, we have stream, where we can communicate with our class, and we have people, where we can organize who's in the class, we can invite people to the class, etc. So really, those are 4 of the main areas of Google Classroom that you have to become familiar with. These 4 here: stream, classwork, people, and the settings. Let's start with stream. As I mentioned earlier, stream allows me to communicate with my class. I can post announcements and I can respond to student posts. Now, at this point, I don't have any students in this class. I'll show you how to get them in a few minutes. But let me just give you a quick glimpse into how you can use stream to send information to your students. All I have to do is go down to the lower right corner, click this plus sign, and it pops up with a couple of options. I can reuse a post that I've used before, or I can create a new announcement from scratch. And that's what I want to do. So I click create announcement. Google Classroom wants me to decide who is the intended audience here. Is it just Introduction to English, or is it also my Spanish 2 class? And if I want, it can be for both. But in this case, it's just for Introduction to English. Next, I can decide, do I want to send this to all students or to a subset of those students? And I'm going to leave it at all students. So now I can post my announcement just by typing here in the text area. So remember to read and sign the class disclosure document by Friday. So there's my announcement. Now, if I want to, I can attach items to this announcement. I could attach a copy of the class disclosure document. And I could do that by just uploading it from my computer. I could go to my list of recent documents. I could just go to my Google Drive or to starred items in my Google Drive. So these are some really good settings that I can use to pull documents, to pull files into my announcement and attach them. You can also link to your Google Drive, which is really similar to some of the options I showed here. I can also attach some videos from YouTube using a URL from YouTube, or I can search YouTube for the specific video. And then finally, I can also put in links to other resources on the internet or whatever it might be. But for now, I'm happy just with this. Now I can click post and my students would be able to see this announcement immediately, or I can click this arrow here and choose to schedule the post. Instead of having it post right now, I want it to post, let's say at 8 o'clock p.m. Click schedule, and I want it to post not on September 3rd, but let's say September 14th. I click schedule, and now I have a saved announcement. It hasn't been posted yet, but it will be on September 14th. So I think this stream page really is a handy and pretty simple way to communicate with students and with the class as a whole. As it says here, I can also respond to student posts. So I may see posts from students showing up here that I could reply to and answer their questions, etc. So think of Stream as being kind of like Twitter or Facebook, and how a stream of information is brought to you and then you can react to it. It's similar here in Google Classroom, a stream of announcements that I send out, also a stream of student posts, student questions, things like that, that I can respond back to. Now, as I post these announcements, each new announcement is eventually going to push the prior announcements down. And so you'll end up with a list here of announcements and posts. Okay, let's move on now to classwork. And for a lot of us, this really is going to be the heart of using Google Classroom. Here on the classwork page, it says we can create assignments and questions. We can use topics to organize classwork into modules or units, and we can order work the way we want students to see it. Let's look at what Google means by that. And we're going to start by creating a topic. So I click Create, Topic, and the topic is going to be Basic English Conversation. I click Add, and now I have a topic. Now think of each topic as being like a module or like a unit of study in a class. So I'm going to go ahead and create another topic, maybe English Family Vocabulary. I click Add. It says I can reorder them. That's great. I'm going to create one more topic and click Add. Now, if I do want to reorder this, I can just by clicking on these three dots and choosing Move Up or Move Down. So that's how you go about reordering the topics in Google Classroom. Now, even though I've got this page set up the way I want it to be, I've got my three topics, there's really not anything of substance here. Each of these topics is completely empty. So I want to create something. I'll create an assignment. Again, I want to make sure that I'm creating this assignment for the correct class and for the right group of students. And then I'll give it a title. I'll call this Conversation with Another Student. I can type some instructions. So there's some instructions I've put in there. Next, I can assign points for this. It can be ungraded, or I can say it's worth 100 points or maybe 50 points. Due date. This is important. I could put in a due date of whenever I think it makes sense. You can even put a time that the work is due if you'd like. And then I can also attach in the same way that I could in the stream with the announcements. I can still use Google Drive. I can still put in videos from YouTube and links. Now watch what happens if I assign this. If I just click Assign as is, then it adds the assignment here to the list of classwork, but it's not organized into the structure that I built here with my topics. What I should have done, instead of saving when I did, I should have added it to one of these topics. Now I can fix that. I'll just go here to the three dots, click Edit, and then where it says Topic, I'll just change it from No Topic to Basic English Conversation. Click Save. And now this assignment is neatly organized in the basic English conversation.
We will stop
topic.
at this one.
Now I can also create
we will
questions.
have a
and you can
real
think of
demo.
questions as being kind of like a
We will have a demo from this. Currently, we are also using this Google Classroom at ISWK. Now, this is my email ID where I just logged in. And just adjacent to that, you have a Google Apps. Click the Google Apps. Then you have a Google Classroom, Google Calendar, and all other Google apps are available here. So Google even extensions and all. So right now I'm taking to Google Classroom. So this opens Google Classroom at ISWK. The moment you just open this, you will have all various classes right from KG1 to class 12. All the classes, for every class, the teachers dealing with that and students dealing with that, they're attached to that. Communication becomes very easy, class-wise, student-wise. And also the administration, school administration can go through that, what is posted, what is not posted, anything. Then we can take any one class as a sample. So maybe as of your choice, or can I go for one class? Maybe, okay, let me go for 10A or 10B. Now, as you see that here, again, we come across stream, classwork, people, grades. This is now right now the stream, how the various postings are already placed and communication given to this. You can share even all your homeworks, circulars, even photographs of the various events, everything. Only thing, it's a controlled platform, not like just open platform like Facebook, where you can give access to the students or access to the teachers, what to place, what not to place, what to comment, what not to comment, and we can even correct this work, etc.
Rao sir,
yes, ma'am.
Sorry for interrupting, Rao sir, but I think your screen cannot be seen. We are still on the slide. So,
is it?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
So I just want you to look into that, please.
1 minute.
Sorry for interrupting.
You are able to see only my window?
Now we can see your window, sir, but we were not able to see your screen when you started your Google sharing of how to actually do it.
Okay, 1 minute. Now are you able to see?
No, sir, we can just see you.
The Google Classroom.
Sir, the live demo which you were giving, that was not seen. We were still stuck on the slide. So maybe you have to remove that and then put that. I'm not too sure. So you're the tech person.
Yeah. Let me just see.
Yes, sir.
Now are you able to see?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for reminding. Okay, now I'm just once again go back to the description part. So this is my ISWK website, our Google Classroom website. So I just logged in using my email, and then I see all invitations from my teachers and all. Next to that, if I go to the Google Apps, now when I just go take various apps are there here along with extensions and all. And then we have, I'm just going to take you to Classroom. Once I just take you to classroom. Are you able to see the classroom now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Visible.
Yeah, KG1, KG2 and all. I think someone can help me like that, just giving me a prompt.
Yes, sir. It can be
Okay.
seen.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very
Go
much.
ahead.
And from KG1 to class 12, we have for every section, there is a classroom created, and where teachers and even students can interact. Particularly now it's a two-way communication, and then we can interact with the students on various platforms. So I was showing that one example of one class. For example, now you can take any of your choice. You ask me one choice, any class. Ma'am, Papri ma'am.
Sir,
Any class
sir,
you can take.
you can choose any class, sir.
Okay. For example, let's say 9C. Now in the 9C again, now if you see here, again stream we have classwork, people, grades. When you take you to stream, so you can see that even greetings of Ganesh Chaturthi to the entire faculty and even students, and various other circulars and our even academic work, and sometimes even photographs also we can send it. And even recently we have completed our student body house elections. That live stream of that also is shared, and lot of things we can share through this. This is like a more or less like a Facebook or even Instagram and all. But various events, photographs can also be shared. But only thing, there is a control on, like in Facebook they can comment anything, but here they cannot comment until unless they are permitted. Okay, so this is under the stream. So here, a lot of communication between the student and the teacher and even school. And then when we move to classwork, for example, various subjects, you can see what all sharings are taking place over a period of time. And similarly, people, here, when you just click that, you can see that teachers who are added or students who are added. There are teachers. If you just wanted to see all the teachers who are there in this, you can go through that. And then here, vice principal, HODs, everybody can be added to that, so that they are in the knowledge of what is happening in this classroom or in this section, what's sharing is taking place. Even that work can be selected and given to only selected students also here. Similarly, now even as a, for example, if you are going to, like it is given to the, in demonstration, for example, if you want to create one classroom, you can create a classroom here. For example, if you name this classroom as a principal's forum, this takes one few seconds time to create. Yeah, that is created now. Here I can add in the people all the principles of Indian schools. So there can be a communication, circular communication or anything, or any official part of it. It's only confined to the principals now. So each principal can communicate one-to-one or one-to-many or many-to-one. So similarly, we can also share the same photographs, everything, the circulars, and even some assignments. Suppose if I need to take some help from other principal, I can also take. For example, if I want to get some question paper from other school, I can get through this. So we can use this platform for all purpose. So with this, I will take you to the, again, my next presentation. Are you able to see the screen once again?
Not yet, sir. I think you have to close this and then move on to the next one, your slide again, your PowerPoint, sir. So you have to close this tab and then move on to the slide again. Yes, sir.
Now?
No, sir, not yet.
Yes?
No, sir. Mrs. Biji, would you please check there is somebody, a participant who has started screen sharing. Maybe
Yes.
that's why it is blocked.
Yeah.
Can you just check?
Miss Farhat, please stop sharing your screen. Sir, but a multiple screen sharing is allowed, sir.
Not required for this. Right. Thank you. Now we are on it, sir.
Okay. Thank
Rao,
you.
sir.
Thank you, ma'am. So this we have completed now. We move on to Google Chrome extensions. Once you open the Google Chrome Web Store, you will be able to see a lot of extensions available here. A number of extensions, various websites, apps, which makes our job so easy. But you need to choose what all required, not everything. Because sometimes you are giving unnecessary or information to the open world. You must be very careful in taking these all extensions now.
Let's take a quick look at Google Chrome extensions. For those of you who haven't used extensions before, they're small pieces of software that you can download and install right within your Google Chrome. Extensions extend the abilities of allowing you to do your day-to-day tasks faster and easier. Today, I'd like to share with you 9 of my favorite Chrome extensions, which are particularly geared towards teachers who work in a Google environment and those who use Google Classroom with their students. Before we look at those extensions, however, let's take a look at how we would locate and install extensions. Within Google, do a search for Web Store. And we're going to go to the first link, the Chrome Web Store. This is where you can sort through the hundreds of available extensions, read about them, and install them for free. I'm going to do a search for Classroom to see Google extensions that are relevant to Google Classroom. I can scroll through and click on any one that looks interesting, read about it, see screenshots, and access reviews. When I'm ready, I simply click on the blue Add to Chrome button, and the app will be installed instantly. Once you have your extensions installed, they will show up in the top right-hand corner of your Google Chrome browser window. You'll see a small icon for each of the extensions, and by hovering over the icon, you'll see which one it is. Today, I'd like to share with you 9 of my favorite extensions, focused on teaching within a Google environment. The first one is actually created by Google, and it's a very simple extension, but it's very useful. It allows you to instantly create a brand new Google Doc, spreadsheet, presentation, drawing, or form without having to go through Google Drive or go directly to the Docs or Slides website. So regardless of where I am online, I can click on this button and instantly I'll have a brand new blank doc. This extension can be a real time saver. The second extension I'd like to share is called Distraction-Free Mode for Google Docs, and it allows you to work on a document online without any distractions from toolbars, address bars, or any other information that might draw your attention away from the work you're doing. Let's begin by using our Quick Create extension to make a new Google Doc. I'd like to be able to avoid seeing all of these different icons and buttons and options on the top of the screen because they're distracting me from the work I want to do. So there are 2 ways I can launch this extension. I can do it by clicking on the extension icon in the bar, or you'll notice right next to the title of my doc, I have this new little button. And if I click this, it allows me to enter the distraction. And you'll notice what it did is it took everything away and left me with a blank slate where I could start typing without any distractions whatsoever. By clicking on the small square in the top left corner, I can see my different options. I can send this to be full screen. I can change it to a dark mode or a sepia theme, etc. And when I'm done, I can click on exit and it brings me right back to the full Google Docs view. This is a great tool for students who are easily distracted. The next extension is called Share to Classroom. And what this does is it allows you to instantly share whatever web page you might be on to your Google Classroom. So let's say you're reading through the New York Times and you come across an article that's particularly interesting and relevant to what you're learning about in class. And we want to share this to our classroom. Well, you could open a new tab and copy and paste a link into a new assignment, but that can be a little bit time consuming. With this extension, you simply click on the icon, select the class you'd like to share the article to, and choose whether you'd like to share it immediately with students, create an assignment, ask a question, or make an announcement. I'm going to make an announcement. And when I'm ready, I click post, and that is sent immediately to my class. Next up is an extension
we will be
called
moving to
Roster
the next
Pull.
one now.
This is a
Like
little
this,
tool
there are so
created
many
by Alice Keeler.
extensions. So there are so many extensions like Tab Scissors, Web Paint, Share to Classroom, Save to Google Drive, Screenshot, Calendar extensions, Small PDF. So you can select this node. For example, Tab Scissors is one Google extension where it makes your window into two parts. In one part, you can run video or any PowerPoint presentation or any document, you can screen that. And another window, you can start making your own notes. Similarly, Web Paint is the one which can allow you to make even mathematical equations, even art and painting, everything. So like that, we have even Nod is the one which gives you like emojis to reflect, when students are in the Google class or virtual class, to just say that whether they are following or not following, they can reflect on that by giving some emojis. So similarly, there is one more called Meet Attendance. I'll be just demonstrating that.
Hey everyone, in today's video, I'm going to show you 3 extensions that are useful when teaching in Google Meet. Today, I'm going to show you 3 Chrome extensions that teachers might find very helpful when holding their classes in Google Meet. So the first extension I'm going to show you is called Meet Attendance. And what this will do is it will automatically take attendance when you're holding class in your Google Meet. Now, I have included the links to all of these in the description below, but they can all be found in the Chrome Web Store. So once you've added this, you'll see its icon is a little circle with a check mark through it. And to use it, all you have to do is click on People, and then you'll notice there's a little clipboard with a check mark, and when you click on that, and it will take you to a spreadsheet with all of your classes. Now you can see I've been using this the last few days to test it out in some meetings I've had, but there are some different options. So if you click on the icon, you can go into the Meet Attendance options, and here you have all different types of options. Adding new sheets, you create new spreadsheets, you can turn it off so that it doesn't automatically take attendance. But it's a really useful and quick tool to keep track of who is in your Meet sessions. And I know a lot of teachers have found this very helpful. The second extension I'm going to show you is called Nod. Now again, these are all available in the Chrome Web Store. But Nod is a great tool for you to send to your students to install because it gives them a couple different options. The first is to raise their hands. So if you're teaching and one of your students has a question, they can click on the hand raising, and it lets you know that somebody's raised their hand. Now, I'm on 2 different computers here. I'll show you what it looks like if another person were to raise their hand. So you can see on the screen here that now it says 2 people have their hand raised. And as the host, just close those out. And it just gives you a way to get some immediate feedback without having kids interrupting while speaking, because you know how that can get when more than one person starts talking, the audio gets a little bit jumbled. It also allows you to get real-time feedback. So if a student had a question about something, they could click on the emoji. And you'll see it shows up with the little emoji and the person's name. Or if you want to ask the class, like, does everybody understand? Everybody can give you the thumbs up without everyone speaking over each other. And again, there's a couple other ones here as well. So again, that's called nod. But to use that, you do have to make sure that you as a teacher.
So such type of extensions are many. So now I think it all depends upon your requirement and your choice that you can add to your Chrome browser so that it gives you rich experience. So here there is a list of some interesting extensions. Bitmoji also same, more or less same as emojis. And save to drive. Suppose when you are now opening one particular document, and when you just click that, immediately the document goes to your drive. And in the Google Meet, we have unlimited number of meetings, live captioning during meeting, compatible across various devices, video and audio preview screen, adjustable layouts and screen settings. So various features are available. Maybe you can just go through that, and maybe if the time permits today, I will be able to show you how to create a meeting, how to create a live stream and all. And there are the virtual platforms, like various virtual platforms available to us today. And most prominently, as per Google Form, the survey form, which has given information that the Indian schools are using Google Meet and Google Classroom. And then maybe few schools are using Microsoft Teams. And there are some schools that are using Cisco WebEx. And in India, so there is another virtual platform created, Namaste India. So it's all the choice of the teacher and choice of the school and choice of the student. And here we have two varieties of virtual platforms available, synchronous and asynchronous. So synchronous means communication happens in real time, possibly more engaging and effective, allows for instant feedback. For example, right now, what is going on with us is a synchronous platform. Asynchronous is so that communication is not live and students learn at different times, possibly more convenient and flexible. It's like more or less like homework. And there are various platforms, examples are given clearly. And then when we move on to various other asynchronous platforms, discussion boards. So that also is possible, Wikipedia, like assessments, Google Documents, videos, messages. So all these come under asynchronous learning platforms. And then Google also offers Google Drive. So far, we all know only Google Drive for only storing, but there are various other options. So I will be sharing this PowerPoint presentation after this webinar so that you all can go through. This is compilation of what all features in the Google Drive. Similarly, Google Forms. Today, most of our teachers are preparing their question papers or their survey forms or various other things through Google Forms. I think this is now, it has become a more handy in checking the presence of it, students also. During your class also, you can create small Google Forms, and in between you can ask the students to answer to make them participating in the class rather than just only listening to the class. Google Drawings, again, this is another interesting feature where, subjects like mathematics or painting or any other, even science, if there are some diagrams, you can draw and you can explain. And in Google Meet, we have another feature called Jamboard. There also we can show the picture and we can show the video, whatever the source is. Today we have n number of ways to reach to the student effectively using audiovisual modes. And the Google Slides, more or less like this is a PowerPoint presentation. But when we are actually running the class through Google Meet, I think whatever the PowerPoint presentation, better to convert into Google Slides so that you'll have a better experience. So you can enjoy that PowerPoint presentation when you show it as a Google Slides. And this is also a very interesting one for various subjects we can use it. Similarly, Google Sheets, spreadsheets, that also can be, this is another very interesting source. Analytics. Using the Google Sheets, again, you can make a lot of charts also, like data analytics. And then Google site. This is one more very interesting feature of this Google. So the main, this is various features are there, how to create a site, how to add or add next or delete pages, how to add text, images, and other content, how to choose the style of your site, how to edit, format, all these things are there. Now today I'm going to show you in 12 steps how we can create our own website. Open the Google site and Google Drive, name the Google site and logo, whatnot, all those things. Permit me to take you to the just demo of that. Are you able to see? Poppy
Not
ma'am?
yet, sir. Not yet, sir.
Not yet?
No. We're still on that slide which says Google Sites and has all the. Now
Sir,
it's
you
back.
have to
You
share.
on this.
Sir, you
Did you,
have to
ma'am?
share. Yes, sir, you have to share your other screen, sir. That Google site screen, sir.
Yeah, that's what I'm going for it.
Okay, sir.
Are you able to see now?
Not yet, Rosa.
Only slide is there?
Only you are there right now, sir. We can just see
Okay.
you.
Yeah, yes.
Are you able to see now?
Yes,
Your
sir, you can
PPT
click on it. Let us see.
Okay. New Google sites.
Uh-huh.
Are you
Sir,
able to see
slide
now?
only the slides, sir.
Only
We
the
can see.
slide?
Yeah, we can see your first PPT only, sir.
Oh, I think this is now 1 minute. Let me take you.
So you have to go for share screen again, sir, and then you have to choose that Google site screen, sir.
Yeah, I'm just trying that.
Okay. Sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now this is called the website. One website already created just to show you similarity. Technology integration, classrooms. So there is one how to add a picture, how to add a Google form, how to give the matter in this, and how to add videos, and how to add even web pages, all those things now. Here, if you just go back to this one, so if you want to add one new website, I think this is taking time.
Sir, can
Yeah, tell me.
Sir, some warning is shown on top, sir.
Warning is shown.
Yes, sir. On your screen, sir. On your screen. Google
Yeah.
prevented a yes.
Okay, I think that is asking it is a suspicious attempt.
Yeah.
Maybe it is not permitting me, so we'll move to next one.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.
In fact, we can easily make the sites, Google Sites, maybe at the end we can see if time permits. So these are the 12 steps we can easily make the website. And this website can be used as a school website or even teacher website or student website or a student blog or teacher blog or portfolio, etc. And then let me just take to one which I prepared here. Another one website on my own. How to make instructional videos, some steps are given. And then here we have the logo just created for our workshop. And there is one video embedded in this and another video. So this is one is called Screencastify. Another one is called Screencast-O-Matic. And we have even other Google Drive. This is called like embedded content in that. Now, one important point here is today, if you take any learning management system in the market that is developed by maybe some 30, 40 employees, in that 30, 40 employees or 50 employees or even 100 employees, in that maybe some percentage, maybe 50 percentage or 60 percentage, maybe academic people like teachers or who have got the experience as teacher or academicians, but remaining all IT people. So there are no organization in the market, no LMS organization in the market is having more than 100 or 200 people. But when it comes to Indian schools in Oman, if you take it, we have roughly 2,000 teachers in our system. Imagine, for every subject you will have not less than maybe 50 people. So if these people can contribute the content like this and they make a centralized repository, can you imagine now in 21 schools we have even IT team. If all IT team together works on this, I think that will be a great achievement. We need not depend upon any learning management service provider like we have HCL or SCHAN and etc. etc. So this I think worth taking point at this point of time. So I just move on to the next one. How to make instructional videos. This is one interesting question. Most of you may be having it. So before that, I would like to take you to once again to another platform. Just please let me know whether you are able to see or not. Are you able to see?
No, sir. We're on your slide.
Okay. Thank you. Let me just stop share and then share it once again. I think that is not picking up. I don't know why. Sharing.
It's okay, sir. We can move on.
1 minute, 1 minute. Are you able to see some
No, sir.
videos?
No, sir.
No?
No, sir. We're just seeing that slide with 3D Eureka.in. That's it.
Okay.
Now, sir, I think when you click on the video, the original window goes behind the front window.
Okay.
Probably you are sharing windows.
No, we.
Yes, sir. Now?
Yeah.
Now we are able to.
to.
Yes, we are able to see, sir.
Yeah, now you can see that. This
Yes.
is one organization called DesignMate, and they created Eureka.in. If you see class 1, this many topics are there. For each topic, they made wonderful videos. Human body, food and health, and air and water, etc., etc. This is for class 1. Similarly, class 2, if you just take it, again, wonderful collection of videos. Similarly, now if you take class 7, again, there are wonderful videos. Class 9. So they're all chapter-wise videos. Now, this type of videos we also can create, provided all our staff work together. Maybe in a year span, we will be able to show better than this. So just I will show you some topics or some, maybe you can choose the subject in this chemistry or biology or physics. Which one you want? Please let me know. 1.
Chemistry, sir.
Chemistry, okay. Maybe I'll just take you to one face-centered cubic structure.
Face-centered cubic crystal lattice, ABC arrangement. Quite a tongue twister, isn't it? But face-centered cubic F simple of spheres in the densest and the most efficient manner in 3 dimensions. It is the grocer's method of neatly piling up oranges and apples that you end up admiring very often. And also the most efficient way of piling up cannonballs in a battlefield. But have you ever wondered who would have come out with this brilliant idea first? It was Sir Thomas Harriot, a renowned mathematician who was the first one to stack these cannonballs in this intelligent way as early as the 16th century, and who predicted that atoms in crystalline solids were also arranged in the same efficient manner. Let us try to build the FCC lattice of silver, starting from a single silver atom. Arrange many such atoms in a single row. Now, make the next row of atoms such that they fit into the depressions of the first row. Go on making the subsequent third and fourth rows of atoms in a similar staggered manner. This layer of spheres is designated as layer A. Each sphere in this layer is in contact with 6 other spheres. If we join the centers of these 6 spheres, a hexagon is formed. Thus, this arrangement is called the hexagonal closed packing in 2 dimensions. This arrangement of atoms results in some empty spaces or voids, which are triangular in shape.
That's the video quality. So that type of quality videos we can prepare. Are you in?
So now you have to exit this and go back to the original slide.
Yes, ma'am. Are you able to see?
No, not yet, sir. Yes.
Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, to make such videos, now we may have to go for this. This slide will help you. Now, there are various platforms to make instructional videos like Soapbox, Loom, Screencastify, Animato, Active Presenter, Hippo Video, Screencast-O-Matic, Explain Everything, vVideo, Nimbus. Out of these 10 platforms which I presented here, but I personally used 5 platforms like Screencastify, Animato, Active Presenter, Screencast-O-Matic, Explain Everything. But out of this, again, I'm not actually doing any business campaign, but Active Presenter is the most interesting one, which gives you a lot of features in that. So maybe, shall I take you to this live demo of Screencastify and Screencast-O-Matic? I just take for 2 minutes. I'll take you to one page now here. Screencastify. Are you able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Are you able to see this now what I'm typing?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We can see Screencast-O-Matic, Screencastify. Yes, sir.
Screencastify. This is one website which gives you to make 5 minutes video on free of cost. So there are 2 services are there. So actually this morning also I came to know through someone that if you make the videos which is more than 10 minutes or 15 minutes, the people who are watching will be losing interest. So maybe that may be the reason here. So here we have a paid version and free version. To start with, I think our teachers can experiment with the free version. So here you can, screen, you can take the video of the screen. I think you might have seen my first introduction video that is based on this Screencastify only. I did for within 5 minutes that one. So you can use here microphone and embedded webcam and all. Desktop if you want to screen, take that one. So then record it. Maybe it is asking me to Google again. Let me not go for this one. So maybe I just go for if you just click here, in my system already installed. If you see here, it is indicating already installed. So when I go here, and there will be Screencastify here. So it is record now. So when I just go for record, maybe entire screen. Screencasting for all. More than 12 million people use Screencastify to easily record, edit, and share videos. Try out and see what the hype's about. So just spend 2 minutes or 3 minutes on this, and then you will be able to just see the recording. Something not working here. Are you able to see?
You can see your
Yes, sir.
screen.
Yeah, my screen in that, if you just see that, maybe you will not be able to hear the voice because microphone is already used.
Videos. Try out and see what the hype's about.
Because now we are in the 2 meetings, the microphone will not be clear.
Just see this.
Yeah, but we got the hang of it. Mhm.
Like that. Now there will be another platform called Screencast-O-Matic. So here also you can use select screen and you can have your photograph also. So both you can have a video.
Try out and see what the hype's about. More than 12 million people use Screencastify to record, edit, and share videos. Try out and see what the hype's about.
Sir, we are not able to see your screen.
Yeah, I'm coming. Are you able to see now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So like now, since we are using microphone here for our Zoom meeting, and then this the microphone cannot have a clarity in that. So that's a sample of it. But you can use this platform also. But the Screencast-O-Matic is little better version than the Screencastify. And the other one is live active presenter. So I will be showing that demo because instead of showing double recording. So this is one active presenter website. If you see here, already various templates are there. What kind of websites you can prepare? I just show you one.
Sir, you have to share that other screen again, sir. Now
Other-
PPT is only seen, sir. PPT slide is seen.
Okay, okay, okay.
Sir, can you share the desktop, the whole desktop?
I'm coming. 1 minute.
Yes. If you share the whole desktop, everything will be seen, sir.
Yeah, yeah. Now you are able to see my screen, my PowerPoint presentation.
No, sir.
Now are you able to see the screen at Active Presenter?
No, sir. Only the PPT slide is seen, sir.
PPT slide is seen. I think some settings we need to change. Okay, let me just see that.
So can you share your screen once again with the desktop option?
Yes, ma'am.
Now we are able to see, sir. Now we are able to see active.
Yeah. Now this is the Active Presenter website. And if you can see here, already some existing templates are there, various templates. Now if I just wanted to show you one sample of it, what kind of website it is. Suppose if you just check one subject, any one subject. Someone can select one subject.
History, sir.
Chemistry.
History.
History.
Doesn't matter.
Let's see that.
No, you've clicked
With
chemistry,
the
it's
invention of the
fine.
modern period. Okay. So I just wanted to just say mandel leaf. So history. It's like a game for the children.
Mm-hmm.
World War I began in which year? I'm right or wrong, I don't know. Congratulations. So my GK is good.
Mm-hmm.
So like this, you can make each subject very interesting one with existing examples. So you have a lot of examples to motivate you. And then not only that, if you just go further, there are n number of features here available. You can import PowerPoint to make a video. You can make various designs, themes, slide templates, style, bullet numbering, whole lot of features. Now, what all you have seen in the previous, the video collection, using this Active Presenter, we can create a better videos for our children. I think this, I recommend everyone should get the training on this exclusive training. Maybe one day we can do for 2 hours, or we can get from somebody. Before that, I think what I suggest to you all, there is tutorials here available here. If you just see here, there is already some user manual available. You can go through that user manual and then work on that. Know if you are not satisfied with the user manual. Then there are a lot of step-by-step videos are there. How to record it, how to edit it, how to make the videos. Completely, if you just read that, how to use themes, there is a small video. Use present background styles, there is a small video. So various things now. Once you start working, it's a big ocean. Like movie makers also use the same. So this is one website which everyone can use it for making our instruction videos. Then we move on to 1 minute. I'll just go back to my one. Are you able to see my PowerPoint presentation? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. So now I think I just take
Hello
you.
everyone. Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I am going to give you an in-depth tutorial about Active Presenter, an all-in-one e-learning authoring software of Atomy Systems. I designed this tutorial to help new users of Active Presenter understand how this program works and how you can make use of its cool features. Here are the key features of Active Presenter, which you can easily find out on their homepage. There are many demo videos about what you can create with Active Presenter there too. So, I am not going to repeat the information that you can read later. I will jump right into the program now.
So welcome to my channel.
Okay, I'm not going to show you all this now. Let me take you to the next one.
Welcome to my channel.
Digital evolution. Today, if you see that, I think that there are the various platforms which we have to make our videos, instructional videos. Now we move on to the digital learning, how we have self-learning, self-paced learning, increases interest levels, increase retention power. And then interesting slide here. Before COVID-19, most of us, we used to have maximum time of classroom interaction in physical classes as a classic teacher in using the blackboard, and children used to listen to us. So that's the scenario. Then now, today, the 21st century learner needs and aspirations or requirements are this. And how to face this? We have to remember that today children are well versed with technology better than even adults. Particularly, even we need to upgrade ourselves to meet their requirements. So let's see that now. If this is the scenario of the digital learner, and if the teacher stays there only, so like in our transaction analysis, we have a situation: I am okay, you are not okay, or you are okay, I am not okay, or you are not okay, I am not okay. These are all not possible solutions. It should be okay situation. So then there is a need for us to transform classic teacher to modern teacher. And then I think we may be moving from digital teacher to digital learner. So teacher also upgraded, child also upgraded, and then learning becomes very, very meaningful. And then these are the requirements of 21st century teacher. Every teacher should know how to make audio clips. Every teacher should know how to make video clips, how to join to videos, how to join to audios, how to make impressive web pages, how to make blogs. So these are all future requirements to make our classrooms very interesting. I think so. Let all of us start learning these platforms. How to create a learning management system. So this is the order of like conduct research to understand learners' requirements, identify learners' needs and problems, challenge assumptions and generate creative solutions, model ideas and solutions, work with learners to gain feedback. So this is a cycle, it has to be followed. And then choose the right software, content development team, product development, mobile app, digital learning. Today, even children are very well versed with the mobile app, using it all. And then there is one very interesting software called Moodle. I would like to take you to the journey of the Moodle for a few minutes.
Welcome to this new section of the course. In this section, our objective is to understand the very basics of Moodle. We will understand what Moodle is, exploring the software frameworks, content management systems, and learning management systems, and see Moodle's place in the universe. Moodle is a fantastic solution when applied to the correct requirement. Later in the section, you will evaluate if Moodle is the right solution for you, your institution, or organization. I will also explicitly tell you when Moodle might not be a correct solution. By doing so, this course will establish a correct expectation for you from this course and from Moodle. In another lesson in this section, I will introduce the different Moodle installations that I will use and demo in this course. I will show you how to access free demo installations where you can mess around to your heart's content without fear of any damage. Let's begin by taking a top-down view of Moodle. Even if you are well aware of Moodle, this lesson will give you a big picture perspective of Moodle's place in the learning ecosystem. At the very topmost level, Moodle is a software framework. What is a software framework? A software framework is an abstraction in which software providing generic functionality can be selectively changed by additional user-written code and so providing application-specific software. Now, the next level. What type of a software framework is Moodle? Moodle is a special type of content management system, also known as CMS. CMSs allow publishing, editing, and modifying content, organizing, deleting, as well as content maintenance from a central interface. This is a very generic definition of a CMS. Amongst a great many things that CMSs are used for, including blogging, news, shopping, and as we will see in this course, learning management also. So Moodle is a learning management system, and it is a special type of CMS.
Hello.
Dealing specifically with learning content.
Hello.
Please remember that we are still talking in a very generic terms.
Okay.
Because today's LMSs far exceed just managing learning content. In this slide, you can see a more detailed view of what today's modern LMSs, including Moodle, are capable of bringing to the table. In short, LMSs will bring together all major aspects of teaching and learning together. These aspects include course design, learning content, communication and collaboration tools, and finally, assessment and evaluation tools. Over and above all of these major areas, the latest trends in the edutech world are learning analytics, mobile learning, social learning. Moodle has started providing some support for these trends just like other major LMSs. But I would say these concepts are still in a nascent stage of evolution at this point of time. This slide might give you an impression that an LMS might include every single technical tool required to run an educational institution. And of course, this is very far from the truth. In the next slide, we will see what is not included. So what does an LMS not include? Student information systems, heavy-duty analytical and reporting tools, document repositories, say for electronic library
I think
management,
we move on to the next part of it.
powerful course shopping software. These are all features.
I'm not going to show you this. What is Moodle? This is how the Moodle website looks like.
Today, I'm going to show you how to use Moodle in order to interact with your students.
Showing the video, I will be showing the live.
Giving
Are you able to see a window asking username?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No.
No.
Always, when I just move out, it is asking me to just yes, sir.
Yes, now, yes, sir.
Yeah. Now I'm just entering my credentials.
इधर सब हो गया, छोड़ दो भैया, उधर मत जाओ, एग्जाम हो रहा है। चलो ये कमरा ऐसे छोड़ दो, ये इधर साफ कर दो, बंद कर दो।
Yeah, this is my website. If you just go for electrostatics, for example, and here I just say to you editing on. So now when I just have, for example, if I want to add something to this topic, I can go to add an activity or resource. You have n number of resources to add here. Assignment, big blue button, chart, facility, choice, custom certificate, database, external tool, feedback, forum, glossary, lessons, quiz, a whole lot of resources, even books, even links in videos, whatnot. I think this is like, when we create a centralized repository. One point I would like to say here, now today we have 2000 teachers. Everyone has some information or some tools in their laptop and they will be using in their classrooms. But no institution in Indian school system is having all these resources with the school. They are all with the teachers. If we can create this type of common learning management system, each teacher can load to our school system. So wonderful opportunities are there here. Now I just take you to one more. For example, let me take you to the part of this site administration. And here, for example, if I just go to the courses, manage a course. If you see here, right from KG1 to class 12, we have created. But here, for example, if you just say English, when you say English under that class 1, class 2, class 3, class 4. If you just create class 1, the class 1 material will be there in that. Class 2 material will be there. So this will be very easy to see even for HOD, what material is there in each classes now. So that easily to coordinate. Similarly, in mathematics also same thing. If you just see again, in mathematics or in any other subject, you will be having all, for example, social science, again. So various subjects you will be having it. So what I suggest is, if suppose schools are interested, here also this Moodle site is 45 days free. You can learn something, and then maybe afterwards, if you are really interested in that, you can go for subscribing it. And right now we subscribe with a basic package with $80 of Australian dollars, so that we can learn something and then start. We can make it for the institution also. Wonderful platform where we can have resources of all 2000 teachers. So each school, suppose if I have, for example, ISWK has the collection of 300 teachers in ISWK server. Similarly, ISG server or ISM server or other school server. If these school servers, again, if they are commonly connected to one server, maybe at Oman chapter or BOD, so that we will be having all centralized repository services. So with this, now I just move on to again to my PowerPoint presentation. Important websites. Another 5-10 minutes I will take you. This is a very interesting one. Brain Pop. If you just take this again, I may have to go out. I'm not going out now because of want of time. Maybe these are all websites, you can go through that. Very interesting websites to make our virtual classes very impressive. Like Brain Pop, Kahoot, MindMeister. MindMeister is the concept map making website. Very easily we can make a concept map. I can show you one sample what I made at the end of this. So I just move to the next slide. This is one sample website, a sample video of Brain Pop.
Hey everyone. We've heard from a lot of you questions about returning to school this year. Dear Tim and I fell really far behind in my schoolwork last year.
When we say gamifying the lesson, you can use this Brain Pop website to gamify.
It was impossible staying motivated to do my schoolwork at home. When we go back to school,
all subjects we have: social studies, mathematics, English, science, every subject we have in this website.
Thanks, Jaden. Nervous, Alejandro.
And so on.
We hear you, all of you. This is a crazy time we're going through, and it's been rough on everyone. Plus, plans are constantly changing at different schools. It's a lot. No wonder you guys, along with every kid in America, are having a lot of feelings about it. So let's talk about ways to deal. When schools went remote last spring, we recommended
Maybe
sticking
we
to a
should
routine.
also have some session with the children
keeping to
when to
regular sleep
reopen our
hours,
schools,
eating well,
how to reopen
exercising.
our schools, what precautions
But
need to be
let's be
taken.
real. Even those of us who hosted a distance learning movie on BrainPop struggled to stay organized. Learning on your own is tough. If school is
This
still
is a sample
virtual for
of
you,
websites from
structure can
BrainPop.
help you stay on top of your work. It'll also help. Hi, we're Kahoot. We're on a mission to make learning awesome. Our game-based learning platform is used by millions of people all over the world. Teachers, students, company employees, and lifelong learners.
Thanks for choosing
Kahoot makes it easy to create fun learning games with trivia quizzes
We're going to show you
minutes,
how easy it is
anytime,
to create
anywhere.
Thanks for choosing MindMeister. In this video tutorial, we are going to show you how easy it is to create your first mind map. We'll start in MindMeister's dashboard, which is the first thing you see after signing on. This is where you can create and store your mind maps and organize them into folders. To create a new map, you click here. This is the mind map editor. In its center, you'll find the root topic of your new mind map. This is where you write the title or the central idea that you're going to be focusing on. Let's say we want to plan a project, so we'll call this map Project Plan. From the root topic, we can now create child topics that will branch off in all directions. To create a child topic, we press the Tab key and write a keyword in the new bubble that appears. To finish, we press Enter. If we press Enter more than once, we'll have created another topic. Together, these two topics are what we call sibling topics because they're on the same hierarchical level. We'll call this one Project Team and then add a few sibling topics on the same level.
So there are n number of videos on this project plans and various
Now
plans
we can
now.
get into more detail by adding child topics
Numerous
to each of
concept
the main
maps are
branches
available
we've
in the
created.
various subjects.
To do this,
Hi,
we'll just click
we're
on a
Kahoot.
topic and then
We're on
hit
a
the
mission
Tab
to
key
make
again.
Hello and welcome to MeisterTask. In this video tutorial, I'll show you how to brainstorm and plan a project in MindMeister, and then export all your great ideas to MeisterTask, where you can collaborate with your team members and manage your project together. I've already logged into MindMeister and opened a mind map template to get started on my project. In this case, the launch of a new product. The map is shared with two of my colleagues, and together we can now brainstorm what needs. Hello and welcome to Meister.
This is another website. Quizlet. This
Quizlet
also has got
offers
various
free, simple
subjects.
tools that help you practice and master whatever you're learning. Prepping for a test, practicing a language, memorizing recipes. You can learn it all on Quizlet. To start, create a set with the terms you need to learn, or find an existing set made by someone else. Then, study it with Quizlet's suite of fun activities and games, including flashcards, great for basic review. Learn to focus on what needs work. Test for practice quizzes. And match to compete for high scores. With Quizlet's free mobile apps, you can even study on the go
Even
and
Kahoot
offline.
can be used. This is one bomb. Are you able to see now website?
No, sir.
Okay. I think again the same problem.
Yes.
Now are you able to see?
Yes, sir.
If you rely on email to get your work done, but are frustrated by the results of traditional text-only email, then it's time to upgrade your email inbox with BombBomb Video for clearer communication, better connections, and higher conversion. Listen, we believe in you. You are your best asset. If you were in front of more people more often, you would do more business. And that's exactly why we created BombBomb Video, along with the training, education, and community that come along with it. BombBomb Video works where you do, right inside your inbox, on your laptop, or on your mobile device. Record, send, and track video email with our best-in-class, patent-pending video.
That's the BombBomb video email message.
Meet Socrative, your tool for fun and effective formative assessment. Socrative enables you to engage and assess students on any device and operating system during class. All the activities visualize student answers in real time and provide detailed reports for afterwards. Directly from your teacher dashboard, you can launch all types of assessments. Start a quiz, do a quick question or polling activity, play a fun space race game, or do an out-of-the-door exit ticket.
Do you remember the old days when you would organize training materials, class lessons, or client documents in a 3-ring binder? Do you remember how professional and organized that felt? How do you package and share information today? Drop it in an email? Throw it in a box? Drive people crazy with files in multiple locations? How does that make you look? There's a better way, a live binder, where all your information and content is organized and easy to share with tabs and subtabs. Forget something at the last minute? No problem. Just add it in. Binders can easily be shared as a link. Content can be added quickly with a single click from anywhere. Just live binder. Have multiple files you need to add? Simply add them all at once. Live binders is a great way to look professional and show your audience that you care enough to neatly package and organize the information you're sharing. More live binders?
We can use this live binders for retrieving the information very quickly within 30 seconds of it. So these are various other websites which are available. And there are 70 educational iPad apps if you are using iPad in the classroom. So these are all various screencasting apps, video creation apps, etc., etc. So I'm not going to touch all these things now today. And these are the platforms, various platforms available for us to make a quiz. You might have seen now Quizlet. Similar to Quizlet, you can use also Kahoot, even other platforms as per your choice, as per your convenience. Similarly, live streams and field trips. Live stream of field trips. Now, today we are not in a position to travel because of the travel restrictions. But however, we can show to the children live stream of these various field trips, like trip to Germany, or trip to Belgium, or trip to US, a trip to Australia. Similarly, virtual museums and all. But there is another one called virtual clubs, virtual book clubs. Now, in each library of each school, we have some thousands of books. Today, scanners have come. If I just place a book on the scanner, that scanner will take a complete book, will be scanned. And like that, we can make some QR codes of that books. And then if suppose Wadi Kabir has some 10,000 books, if I make them as a digital copies like India has done that Digital India, similarly, we can also make every school can make that and then connect each school so that we will have more than, maybe 2 lakhs of books for the children availability, online virtual clubs. I think this is one more feature that we can think of future planning. And these are just few slides are there. Various, for example, if I am teaching mathematics, what are the various websites used across the world? So there is some surveys done by some organization. And here you see Prodigy, Khan Academy, iRead, Extreme Maths, IXL, GLearn, Reflex, etc., etc. If it is 6 to 8 mathematics, slightly different platforms. If it is 9 to 12 mathematics, and the slightly different platforms, Khan Academy, Desmos, Google Classroom, Kahoot, LX, Quiz.
Put in the chat, please fill the form. Seen, no?
And we have, again, a circular representation, the pie diagram representation of all this. If it is English language arts, we have various platforms again. So some platforms are common to the subjects. And even 6 to 8, again, Google Classroom, even Newsletter, ReadWorks, iReady, Kahoot. So many platforms are using now. These are all various platforms, virtual platforms, useful to us. Similarly, 9 to 12. Reading, K5, 6 to 8, 9 to 12. Science, Brain Pop, Discovery of Education, STEM, Mystery of Science, YouTube, Quizlet, Google Classroom, etc. These are the science teachers. So I tried my level best in a short period of time to give you the glance of various virtual tools available to us. Maybe this is the one which I was talking about, concept map which I made. Today we all covered, except Google site, Google website, we covered almost all. Features are and all Indian schools, we believe every child should finish schooling prepared and inspired to create a good life full of opportunities, choices, connections, network, and meeting meaningful relationships. To realize this, students need a strong academic foundation as well as other mindsets, habits, and skills that are correlated with success. Feedback, you can give it to us on this email ID. Thank you. And we move on to question and answers.
Thank you, Mr. Rao. If you can stop your screen sharing, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
And this is for all participants. Please, the feedback form and your attendance form has been put on the chat line. Kindly fill that in. Thank you, Mr. Rao. Maybe are you ready to take the questions now, sir?
Yeah.
Feedback form should be, please, I don't know who's sharing the screen. Can you just shut that, please? Okay. Thank you. Okay, now what we're going to do is, please look at the chat line for the feedback form and attendance form. Everybody has to fill that in. Thank you so much. Mr. Rao, shall we start with the question and answers, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
This one is, I don't know if she's present here. This is from Indian School Buremi, Sunita Balasubramanian. And she writes, what would be the best method to ensure the participation of all students in a particular class? Rao, sir.
From my point of view, there is no fixed best method. It depends on the requirement of the learners and environment of learning. From my point of view, involving students in various academic activities and engaging them with the joyful and fun-filled may be the best.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
I think we can go by the
Rao, I am probably going a little faster because we are running out of time.
Yes,
the next question is from Mrs. Ann Thomas of Indian School Al-Gubra. And she writes, wouldn't a teacher feel crippled if he or she is not technology savvy? How can this handicap be overcome? Rao, sir.
Yeah, in near future, I will be the senior citizen, just crossing, touching the 60, but still I am trying to learn and at par with the other young learners or young teachers. If we do not update our skills as per the need of the hour, we become obsolete. So maybe organization may be replacing such teachers. We are not updating.
Thank you, Rao. I think that is the hard reality, that we have to upgrade ourselves constantly, because teachers are constant learners. I guess, There is no end to learning.
Papri ma'am, I would like to comment.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
This was
Yes,
always
Sanchita.
this was always a question whether technology will replace teachers. So answer was always no. The technology can never replace the teachers. But a teacher who doesn't know technology will surely be replaced by the teacher who knows technology. That's the future. So
You hit the nail on the head, ma'am.
Teachers cannot be
So
replaced.
please learn. Please learn. Don't feel crippled. Learn and gain confidence.
That's all.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, Rao sir. This is a question from Mr. Sajish Kumar T from Indian School, Mabella. And he writes, how can we make virtual classrooms more interactive?
Yeah, students love online games. I think you might have seen most of the time children playing the mobile games or computer games. If we can make our classroom more experiential, creating various videos.
Feedback from the post here.
It is my request to all participants to kindly mute yourself. Excuse me. Please mute yourselves. All participants, kindly mute yourselves. We can hear your private conversations, so kindly mute yourself. Thank you. Sir,
Yes.
did I interrupt you?
Yes, ma'am. Students love online games. I think most of the time you might have seen that children playing the games in mobile or even laptop or whatever the tab or whatever is available. Similarly, in classrooms also, if we can make like some videos or quizzes using these impressive websites, children will be definitely, they are involved. So remember, they are 21st century learners. So their requirements are something better than what we have today.
Sir, this is a question from Nisha Nishad from Indian School SEEB. And she asks a very, very pertinent question. Can virtual classes replace real classrooms? Rao sir, this is the question of the day, I think.
Not at all, not at all. The real classes cannot be replaced by the virtual classes. That human touch will be missing. That feelings of the children, or connectivity from the teacher to the student, that student-taught ratio or teacher-taught ratio or teacher-taught relation will be missing in that. So definitely we cannot replace the real physical classes with virtual classes.
Thank you, Rao sir. Now, this is a question from one of your own colleagues, Mr. Sanjeet Kumar Das, and he writes, is it true that technology threatens the child's security? And this is a very, very pertinent question today, sir, because we are exposing them to a whole new world which has threats in it.
Yes, ma'am. It depends on how we use and what security measures we take while browsing, while giving the device to the child. So we need to have some sort of control, because internet and online world is infinite. There is no end at all. Particularly in the area of artificial intelligence, the moment we see one particular item on a Facebook or search something in a Google, the next hour you will get infinite websites recommended to you on the same topic. So we should be double careful in handling the social media by our kids. And there is a threat, but we need to take care of it.
Thank you, Rao sir. I think that was very, very important for everybody to hear. Rao sir, this is something probably you touched on a little earlier, but I will still ask this question because I think it is an important question and something that I too would like to ask you. This is from Indian School, Boshar. Oh dear, I forgot to write the name. Anyway, I hope the teacher concerned, if I missed out the name, please forgive me. The gentle human touch and feelings are somewhat missing in an online session. What can technology do to help us in this regard?
Maybe now, like Japan and other countries, thinking on designing the robots with human feelings. We may have to do that. Like an example of Robo 2.0. So you have some feelings in that, but I don't have an exact answer from my side to this question.
I got the teacher's name. It is Sajindran Nair. I'm sorry, Mr. Sajindran, if I missed out the name. Now, sir, this is from Indian School Darset, Lavanya Kanan. Will it be possible to narrow down to just a few brilliant sites or features for online sessions for a clearer understanding rather than accessing a plethora of sites?
Exactly, madam. Today, if you open any website or any internet, if you search for something, Google, so people are giving you a number of websites which are not maybe so relevant to you. So I think if our group of teachers work on this, yes, why not? It is possible. We can give the list of websites which they will be getting it. That's what actually my trial also to show that Moodle software or even the various instructional videos, collective videos which we can do. We can reduce the time of browsing and also we can restrict the child going out of the way by giving the suggested websites to them by the team of experts.
Thank you, Rao sir. This is Saida Azimunisa from Indian School Ibra. And I guess many of the teachers who are participants today are probably asking the same question. Is this helpful for KG students? Many parents want classes that do not require the presence of the parents and their assistance.
Yes, ma'am. There are a number of websites available on storytelling or even rhymes or phonetics or number games, etc., etc. So I think if you just open that particular area, 40% of the websites are only meant for early childhood education, like pre-K, KG1, KG2. It all depends upon now. We just started our journey in our virtual classes a few months back. So I think over a period of time, we will be having a list of useful websites, every school and every teacher. So therefore, by the time we will be able to help and share with all of us what are the best websites for KG children.
But sir, the underlying factor remains that for a KG child, the parent's presence is very, very important during the class.
Exactly.
Otherwise, it is not possible for them to access the technology. And I think it's not safe also for them to access the technology. So the next question is from Indian School Salala, and this is Mr. Narayanan Balasubramanian. And he asks, how effective can online teaching be?
I think this is a very interesting question. Most of our Indian schools today, from the third week of March, I think most of the schools started, or predominantly, I think from the first week of April, we have been doing wonderful job, all the Indian schools. And today, if you ask my personal opinion now, the kind of a jump which we made in technology in the last 5 months, if the same type of the jump in normal course of life, it would have taken 5 years for our teachers or for our children to get into this type of phase. I think so this is going to be really challenging to every one of us.
Correct, Rao sir. I agree with you completely. Now this is from Shanaz Khan of Indian School Sohar. And she asks, how can the teaching of languages, and I guess she means the languages other than English, be made more effective in an online classroom? That's the other languages, sir.
I think you are the right person to answer this. But however, since question is given to me, I will take this. Language consists of mainly 4 areas like LSRW, listening, speaking, reading, writing. Today, if you have a video clip, you can play it. So then you can have a questions. So you can test their listening skills. Similarly, you can give us some words, jumbling words, make the sentences to them. So they'll have a writing ability. And similarly, now I think my first introduction video shows that reading ability. So we can have all the skills can be improved by using various tools in the virtual classes.
So I guess you have already answered this, but doesn't matter. But I think she would like to probably hear it from you. This is Parvati Vijay from Indian School Sur, who wants to know particularly how do we handle virtual classrooms more effectively for classes 1 and 2?
Yeah, one, you need to have a good device, laptop and internet connectivity. And then like in my introduction, I mentioned that various tools which are necessary for making the online class more effective. If you can plan it effectively like that, I think your classes are going to be more impressive and informative for the children. They love to attend your classes without any, because in my particularly earlier, I never have gone to that many classrooms like I am going today online. The moment I get a time, so similarly, immediately I'm just able to go to the class. I love to attend the classes where I wanted to see the interaction between the children and the teacher. Similarly here, now today, if you just see that, I think maybe the most same experience with all principals. So we could see that good transaction is taking place between the children and the teacher. And they are more effective from my point of view, using audiovisual education. Earlier, we are having audiovisual education only now and then, maybe 10, 15 days after that, only one particular auditorium or some room, audiovisual room. We used to take the children there and show that some video. But now today, predominantly, every day we are in front of the children, in front of the parents, and showing a whole lot of learning resources.
So this is from Indian School Jalan, Vidyarani LS. She asked, how can we use AR in language teaching? What is AR?
Recently, from Malappuram, one teacher used AR, and that particular video has gone viral.
Viral, correct.
That shows that, when a teacher in Malappuram is able to show that, I think the days are ahead. Every school will be able to adapt, and CBSE is going to organize a training session on this AR, augmented reality. We have AR and VR. I think these are going to be new tools for our classrooms.
Rao sir, I will quickly do 2 more questions before I wind up. And this is from Indian School Seed, Mr. Ajay Thomas. And he asks a question which is there on all our minds since September is coming. How can we conduct fair examinations in an online environment? So,
there are a good number of platforms. Fair means that is again a question of definition that we have to give it. But today, there are some websites like Ekalavya or the Times of India group. Yesterday, I was mentioning to some of my colleagues. They started one website called Tech Gig. So they also created a platform where proctored way of conducting examinations, not allowing the children to even to Google any answer for that, changing the website, changing the screen. So still, it's a question of, again, integrity. We need to believe the child, we need to believe the parents, and at the end of the day, again, it's a learning. It's not going to be like, you are not going to take a test for the purpose of only scores or for the purpose of showing something artificial to the teacher. It's a learning, self-learning.
Rao sir. No, please continue. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt you. Sorry.
No problem. Please go ahead.
And I'm probably going to end with this very pertinent question from Sweetie John of Indian School Darset, where she writes, how far is online teaching effective, and how will this kind of education prepare this generation for the new emerging world? And this is my final question to you, sir.
Wow, wonderful question, actually. No doubt this today's generation is totally different from our childhood. And during our childhood, maybe even at class 10 level or class 12 level, hardly we don't have even a mobile phone with us. Today, they know how to handle the mobile phone even at the tender age. And
can you mute everybody, please?
Ma'am, you have to unmute.
Unmute Mr. Rao and me, please. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Mrs. Beji.
Okay.
Thank you.
Mr. Rao, sorry about that. My apologies. I think somebody was in a rather unhappy frame of mind. I'm not too sure what she was saying, but obviously it wasn't something which was pleasant.
Yeah.
Mr. Rao.
As I told you,
continue.
during our childhood, we never had an opportunity of even having a small
only
maybe in the recent past.
Participants. How we did not allow anybody during Independence Day.
Yes, continue, please. Sanchita ma'am, kindly mute yourself. Thank you. Yes, Rao sir.
Yeah. Now, today's, for example, if you take 5 months back, all the children, they may not be knowing how to join online meeting. But today, they know how to join online meeting, how to share their points to the other students, teachers. And this is going to be a new era of learning various other ways. Tomorrow, when they go to their professional life, they'll be able to do much more better. So I think these skills are going to give a little better edge to the children how to face the future challenges.
Thank you, Mr. Rao, for taking all those questions. And I think what you have done today is you have opened new vistas before us. I mean, the school of the future that you showed, literally my eyes popped. I cannot even visualize something like this, but obviously it exists. If they have filmed it, means it does exist somewhere. So that was absolutely fantastic. And I think all of us will do total justice to what you have shared today only when we go back, explore further, and use what you have taught us in our lessons. Only when we do that, we will do true justice to what you have shared with us today. And on behalf of all the teaching fraternity who were part of this webinar, I wish to extend my thanks to you, Mr. Rao, for sharing all these important facts with us. It's been a huge learning experience for all of us. Definitely for me, because I'm not really technology savvy, and it's been a huge learning experience for me. And I'm sure that resonates the same with many of us who have participated today. I would not be doing my duty if I did not thank the IT team from Indian School Muscat, Indian School Sohar, and Indian School Nizwa, who've done a stellar job in managing today's webinar. Thank you, teachers, for all the time that you have spent. Thank you, Mr. Rakesh of Indian School Boshar, for sharing the license with us, which is why we could conduct the webinar with about 1,000+ participants today. Thank you very much, sir. And most importantly, I think on behalf of all of us who are participants today, I'd like to thank the convener of the Oman chapter, Mrs. Sanchita Verma, and the coordinator, Mr. Dominic of Indian School Nizwa, and Mrs. Sanchita Verma, Principal Indian School Sohar, Mr. Dominic, Principal Indian School Nizwa, for organizing this entire webinar. And I think with that, I'd like to sign off and hand it over to Mrs. Sanchita Verma. Sanchita ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Rao sir. Thank you, Papri ma'am. We'll sign off, and after those who have filled the attendance forms, certificates will be sent to them. But looking at the large number of participants, it will take time. So kindly be patient. You will definitely get your certificate. And I would request Ms. BG to share the slide for the next presentation. So now after the technology, next week is the laughter time. So our next presenter is going to be Ms. Felcy Fernandez from Indian School Muscat on the topic, if they are laughing, they are learning. So friends, see you next week here at 4 o'clock, and the session is for 1 hour, 4 to 5 p.m. So be with us. Thank you so much. Registration forms will be sent tomorrow through your school principals.
I think there is a question that is coming across in the chat group quite a bit. What about the presentation? Mr. Rao has very kindly agreed to share the presentation. He will send it to the principals who will forward it to the concerned participants. Okay?
Yes,
so thank you, Mr. Rao, once again for your generosity. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you very much for being generous, because that's a question that is being asked quite a bit in the chat forum. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Sanchita ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.